Elise and I had been together for 9 years. Not married, though everyone assumed we were. We met as interns at the same marketing firm, climbed the ranks together, and eventually became co-CEOs of our own boutique agency. Everyone in the industry called us the unstoppable duo, a mix of brains, charm, and chemistry. The It Couple. We were nominated, together, for Power Couple of the Year at the annual Creators and Innovators Gala. The nomination felt surreal. It wasn't just about romance. It was about the partnership we'd built. Business, brand, life. At least, that's what I thought. The first sign was a lipstick mark. Not Elise's shade. It was coral, too bold for her usual preference of nude tones. I spotted it on the collar of her trench coat when she threw it across the back of the couch after returning from a conference. I let it go. Then it was the texts. One she forgot to hide. Can't wait to see you again heart, from a contact named Emily A. The real Emily A was 62. Married. Elise's college professor. Not the type to text hearts. Still, I said nothing. Until one evening, we were finalizing our pitch deck for a major client, and she let it slip. So, I think I'm bringing someone else to the gala. I blinked. What? She didn't look up from her screen. You know how formal those things are. And you're not really into crowds. So, I thought I'd just go with someone who loves that scene. Elise, we were nominated together. She sighed. As a brand, not romantically. Her tone was cold, dismissive, like she was peeling me away from her life, layer by layer. That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, I made coffee. 2 cups, like always. She didn't touch hers. I stared out the window while she got ready for another, overnight strategy retreat. When she left, I opened her iPad. And I saw it. Photos, messages, reservations. Him, Ryan Voss, tall, smug, recently separated. A startup CEO with a perfect jawline and nothing behind the eyes. He had been a client once, until Elise insisted on handling the account personally. The messages were nauseating. Let's make them all jealous at the gala. Can't wait to stand beside you in front of all your colleagues. Nathan won't even see it coming. He was right. I hadn't. For 3 days, I said nothing. But I started planning. Not revenge, not drama, just justice. Quiet, precise, beautiful. I looked Ryan up. He had filed for divorce 8 months ago. His wife, Camilla, was a former corporate strategist, now running a wellness nonprofit. They had a son, a Labrador, and an image to protect. And from what I found in a few public interviews, Camilla still wore her ring and smiled wide for the cameras. So I reached out. My message was polite, respectful, direct. Greater than, "Hi Camilla. I hope this doesn't upset you. My name is Nathan Brooks. I believe your husband is currently involved with my longtime partner, Elise Morrow. I have no desire to cause harm. But I thought you deserved to know. And, I'd like to talk. Not about confrontation, about clarity. I'll let you decide," she replied within an hour. Greater than, "I've suspected it. But seeing it typed out. Yes, let's meet. Tomorrow. We met at a quiet tea shop away from the city noise. Camilla arrived in a cream-colored coat, her hair tied back, eyes tired but sharp. She greeted me like she already knew me. And maybe she did, not by name, but by experience. By pain. I told her everything. I showed her the messages. The photos. Elise's confirmation that she was bringing a colleague to the gala. Camilla said little. When I finished, she took a long sip of chamomile tea and asked, "What are you thinking of doing?" "I'm not sure yet," I said honestly. "But we're being made into fools. And they're about to walk into an event celebrating us, while pretending they built what we built." She studied me. "So you want to expose them?" "No, I want them to expose themselves. I just want to be standing there when it happens." She paused, then said, "I'll come with you." I blinked. "To the gala?" "Yes," she said, "to accept the trophy they think belongs to them." The following weeks were a strange blur. Elise barely came home. When she did, she was polite but distant. Cold, like we were strangers co-renting a space. I played along. Camilla and I coordinated silently. We agreed to meet outside the venue, walk in together, sit near the front. Neither of us would speak unless we had to. We didn't rehearse a scene. We didn't plan drama, just presence. The night of the gala arrived. I wore a dark blue tailored suit. Camilla wore a sleek black dress, understated but elegant. Her hair was pinned up, and her lips were set in a firm line. When we arrived, cameras flashed, but they didn't know who we were, yet. Inside, Elise arrived late. I saw her enter with Ryan. Arm in arm, laughing, glowing. She wore the red gown I'd gifted her on our 6th anniversary. They took selfies. She posed with our peers. Ryan tried to act like he belonged. Then the moment came. The host stepped onto the stage. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The power couple of the year, a team whose chemistry, leadership, and shared vision inspired us all. Give it up for. A pause. A drumroll. Nathan Brooks and Elise Morrow. Applause. Elise froze. She didn't expect that. She stood, confused, looking at Ryan, then at me. That's when I rose. And so did Camilla. We walked, calmly, toward the stage. The applause began to fade into whispers. Elise's face went pale. Ryan sat stiff, confused. Camilla and I ascended the steps. I took the mic, glanced at Elise in the crowd, and smiled. Thank you. On behalf of real partnerships, the kind built on trust, commitment, and integrity, we accept this honor. The audience caught on. There were gasps, a few stifled chuckles. Cameras went wild. Camilla added, some people believe they can rewrite history with new faces. But real foundations don't crack under the weight of lies. They endure, or they expose the ones who fake it. We held the trophy together. And the room erupted. The applause thundered in our ears as Camilla and I stood side by side under the gala lights. The host, unsure whether to be shocked or impressed, smiled and stepped back, giving us the full stage. The audience, a sea of industry giants, influencers, and executives, buzzed with whispers. They weren't just clapping for our speeches. They were clapping for what we represented, grace in the face of betrayal. Silent strength, poetic justice. I glanced at Elise. She was still seated, her red gown glowing under the chandeliers, but she looked frozen, as if the fabric was now constricting her chest. Her jaw clenched, her eyes narrowed, darting between me and Camilla, then to the award we were now holding. Ryan didn't move. His smirk had dissolved into a lifeless stare. For once, he had nothing to say. Backstage, we were offered champagne. Camilla declined. I took one glass, not to drink, but to hold, for effect. Are you okay? I asked her as we stepped out of the spotlight. She smiled. I've never felt lighter. Even after all that, she looked at me, especially after that. Elise tried to catch me alone in the hallway. She stepped in front of me, one hand raised. Nathan, don't, I said calmly. Her voice dropped to a hiss. That was cruel. That was a show. You're right, I nodded. A show you started the moment you brought Ryan to the gala where we were nominated as a couple. She scoffed. So what? You team up with his wife. Parade her like some twisted revenge puppet. Camilla appeared beside me before I could answer. I'm not anyone's puppet, she said evenly. I'm his equal, the kind of partner you never learn to be. Elise stepped back as if slapped. I didn't mean, she stammered. Camilla cut her off. You meant everything. That's why it hurt. Then she walked away. I followed. The internet didn't sleep that night. By morning, clips of our speech were everywhere. People speculated, replayed the tension, zoomed in on Elise's expression. Headlines exploded. Scandal at the gala. Power couple trophy sparks cheating drama. Betrayed boyfriend and cheater's wife take the stage, together. This isn't a Netflix show, it actually happened. Messages poured into my inbox. Old clients, friends, even strangers thanking me for how I handled it. But the one message I wasn't expecting. Ryan, greater than, you humiliated me. She'll never take me back now. Hope it was worth it. I stared at the message. Then blocked the number. Elise, however, wasn't done. She showed up at my office 3 days later. She looked different, not polished or composed. Tired, worn, human. I wanted to explain, she said. I leaned back. That you lied, or that you brought someone else to the most important night of our careers without warning. She winced. I was confused. No, I said. You were selfish. You were arrogant. You thought I'd just fade into the background while you rewrote the story, as if I wasn't half of what we built. She looked down. You brought him into our world. Into our company. Our circle. I didn't mean to fall in love with him, she said weakly. I laughed. Not out of humor, but disbelief. You weren't in love. You were in lust. He flattered your ego. Told you things I stopped saying not because I didn't believe them, but because I thought you already knew. Silence. She reached into her purse and pulled out a letter. What's this? A resignation, she whispered. From the company. Effective immediately. I nodded slowly. Good decision. That night, I sat alone with the trophy on the table. Camilla called. Just checking in. You okay? Better than I expected. I'm thinking of starting something new, she said. Not just a nonprofit. Maybe a podcast. Something for women going through public betrayals. You'd be surprised how many write me now. You should do it, I said. You're good with truth. And people need that. She paused. You helped me find my voice, Nathan. Thank you. You helped me find mine too. A few months passed. Elise's name faded from boardrooms and headlines. Ryan's startup tanked after clients pulled out. His reputation never recovered. Camilla's podcast went viral. She had guests, some anonymous, others bold. Their stories echoed what we'd lived. Betrayal, clarity, peace. One episode was titled, Don't Just Walk Away, Walk on Stage. It made me smile. One evening, she invited me as a guest. We didn't talk about Elise. Or Ryan, not directly. We talked about what happens when dignity becomes your comeback. About the power of truth, not screamed, but shown. The audience loved it, and afterward, she said, I think the trophy was never the point. What was? The moment we looked them in the eyes. And didn't flinch. 1 year after the gala, I returned to that event. Alone. This time, I wasn't nominated. But people greeted me like family. Some asked if Camilla and I were a couple now. We weren't. We were something deeper, two people who survived a betrayal, together. Who didn't destroy each other to get even. That's rare. And honestly, that was the real trophy all along. Final message, you don't have to scream. You don't have to fight. Sometimes, you just have to stand. On a stage, with your head held high. And let the truth shine louder than any lie.